Above the Rim is a 1994 American sports drama film co-written and directed by Jeff Pollack in his directorial debut. The screenplay was written by Barry Michael Cooper, adapted from a story by Benny Medina. If you don't know who Barry Michael Cooper is, he...
You're not the only one.
You're not the only one, yeah. He made his directorial debut with Blood on the Wall. He wrote, I believe, New Jack City. Gosh, I wish they had listed his IMDb here. Okay, yeah, he's an American writer, producer, and director, best known for his screenplays for the films New Jack City, Yo Jason. We got these New Jack criminals. Well, we needed some New Jack cops. My favorite line from that movie. New Jack City is awesome.
I'm surprised we haven't covered that.
I'm not. There's only so many movies we can do in a year. But I do love that line. Sugar Hill, which I've actually never seen, and now Above the Rim, which is referred to as the Harlem trilogy. So that's Barry Michael Cooper in a nutshell. The film stars Duane Martin, Tupac, Marlon Wayans, and Leon, otherwise known as Leon Preston Robinson, who has been in a bunch of movies, but you just never knew his name. He's been in movies like The Flamingo Kid, starring Matt Dillon. Which there's a movie I really want to talk about one of these days. He's in Colors. Colors, Jason. Colors. He's in Cliffhanger. He's in Waiting to Exhale. And I'm just like skipping a whole bunch of stuff, but like these are the big ones that people might know him from.
And you can't forget the greatest actor of our generation was also in Above the Rim.
I'm getting there. More recently, like 2023, he was in The First Lady of BMF, the Tanisa Welch story. 2022, he was in A Day to Die. He was in 2005's Get Rich or Die Trying. He plays Joe Simmons in Ali. So he's everywhere. He's been in a whole bunch of stuff. He's, working actor. Considered the conclusion to Cooper's Harlem trilogy, the film tells a story about a promising New York high school basketball star and his relationship with a drug dealer and a former basketball star. Now employed as a security guard at the high school, he was a promising young star for the past years. It was shot in Harlem with various scenes filmed in the Manhattan Center of Science and Mathematics in East Harlem. Some of the basketball scenes were filmed at Samuel J. Tilden High School in Brooklyn, New York. It was made on a budget of $6.5 million. It made $16.2 million. So it was, minimally profitable. A tidy little profit. I didn't realize this. It won an MTV Movie Award in 1995 for Best Movie Song, which was Regulate by Warren G. It was actually nominated, I should say. It holds a 50% rating on Rotten Tomatoes. So basically what happens in this movie, and I won't spend too long on the plot synopsis, is Leon comes home. He gets a job at a high school as a security guard, which is where we meet our star of this movie, promising basketball star, who's played by Duane Martin. He plays Kyle Lee Watson. And Kyle Lee is, typical brash youth, kind of thinks he can do it all by himself. He's looking to get out of the streets and go play ball first for college, then professionally. He never likes to pass the ball, you see. He thinks he can hot dog and do it all himself because he's that talented. He, of course, has some friends. You have Marlon Wayans, who just got back from prison, and he's sort of drifting in between the criminal world and the world of basketball with Kyle. Then there's Tupac, who's the big heavy in town. He's the big, local drug dealer and, the villain of this piece. Over the course of the movie, Leon begins to date Kyle's mom, and that causes tension. Also, there's a, what they call, was it the shooting something or other, Jason? What's the game that Tupac won? The shootout, yeah. There's something called the shootout, which is, a bunch of local teams playing a tournament, and Tupac wants him to play for his team. And so he's promising him all kinds of things so that he'll make that decision. The coach is trying to get this kid to fucking pass, play as a team, not be a complete shithead. Bernie Mac plays a bum, And he's
Love
got some of the
Bernie
best
Mac.
fucking lines in this movie. Dude, Bernie Mac is such a talented actor. Over the course of the movie, Kyle resists the temptation to go to the dark side with Tupac. We learn that Tupac and Leon are brothers, and Tupac's like, "You left, you went to prison. Like, what did you expect me to do? Not be a criminal?" And Leon's like, "Well, yeah, kinda." Um, Marlon Wayans gets bullied a whole lot and pressured. Kyle eventually learns humility. He learns to play as a team. He grows as a character. Um, Leon gets past the trauma of everything that happened to him. So the movie starts off with he's a basketball player and he's playing on a rooftop with someone, and the kid goes to hit the backboard and he falls off the building. Which who the fuck puts a basketball hoop on a roof? But I digress. So, he went to prison. He was traumatized by that. When he comes out, he doesn't really want to be a part of basketball anymore. But the game calls, and so he gets past it. He helps the kid. He dates the mom. He defeats Tupac in a lightsaber battle in front of in front of a volcano. It's a whole thing.
Because he has the high ground.
Because he has the high ground, sure. He reclaims his soul and his sanity, and he learns to love the game again. At the very end, Marlon Wayans finally shoots Tupac, because who hasn't shot Tupac in the 90s? And then that's it. That's the movie. What'd you think of Above the Rim, Jason?
I liked Above the Rim a lot. I mean, it's one of those, and like I said, this is the story when you'll see this theme throughout all three movies: the struggle of the black man through basketball, and the trials and tribulations that they try to portray.
Mm-hmm.
And you see it from a lot of different perspectives, and that's why I picked these three movies. You see the struggle of like a lot of kids are urban youth, have two options: sports or drugs,
Right.
and gangs. And that's where I think Above the Rim really hits home on, because it shows that you could be a promising young star, but if you don't make it through sports, the only option you've got to succeed in life is gangs and drugs. Um, and it shows that fine line. It shows a little peek into the struggles of like places like Brooklyn, Chicago, LA. If you don't have talent, then people basically say your life's limited if you don't have a ball in your hand.
I look at the movie thematically as sort of the line between community and individualism. Kyle is very much the spirit of, this neighborhood is such trash and my life is such trash that if I'm not aggressively individualistic and single-mindedly successful, I will never get out of here. It's what makes him self-centered. It's what makes him kind of a bastard to be around. And it's symbolized through the way he plays the game. Which is why the team is also kind of struggling at the beginning of the movie. And then he kind of learns the value of community, the value of family. And so his whole game changes, and now he's passing the ball and he's working as a team, and he's a much better player, which I like. I like that. I like that symbolism. I like that theme. I do think community and family are all important things. That's why people join churches. That's why people try to find a place of belonging. We are social creatures, and in isolation, we tend to fall apart. We tend to go a little crazy. If you're buying into social contracting and you're participating in the community in some way, I think that's healthier for you. And I like the fact that that's the message of the movie. In terms of performances, he's good. He plays a kind of bratty, angry black kid real well. But I think he handled. I think he's also written sympathetically. Like, he's kind of a shit in the beginning, but you're rooting for him to get better because he's not a bad kid.
Yeah, he has an arc.
Yeah. Tupac is great in everything he's in, especially in this era. Like, Tupac, the world took him too soon, and he was definitely a victim of his own decisions. And I'm not defending Tupac in that sense, but we tend to look at a lot of like musicians or athletes turn actor and go, well, you're doing all right for this isn't your chosen profession. Tupac could have been anything. Like Tupac could have just been an actor and he'd have been great. He's so good. Like we talked about him in it was Juice, and I think I said the same thing. He has such charisma. He has such a presence about him. No wonder he got as much work as he did back then. Because I would have liked to have seen him stretch. Like if he had lived longer and people had trusted him more, it would have been nice to have seen him in something that isn't this or Juice. But
where he played an urban drug dealer,
yeah,
basically, and typecast. Yeah.
I would have loved to have seen what else he could do. But he definitely brings a sufficient amount of menace to the character. But I also feel like you can feel his pain in his performance when he's talking to Leon. That he feels right or wrongly betrayed, and how much anger there is there, but also, like I said, hurt, sadness. It all comes out in Tupac's performance. He's really, really good. I like Leon in this. I just wish he didn't do everything in a monotone. Like
Yeah,
he
if he
is
would have
way too subdued.
if he emoted. Yeah, if he would have emoted
Yeah.
a little bit better and bring across the character a little bit more, I think that could have benefited the movie overall.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Like,
he was very, very.
It feels like the direction they gave him was you're traumatized, so you're like pensive and guarded the whole movie, and it's like, okay, he's not a robot.
Yeah, we could have seen a cardboard cutout emote more.
Yeah. I don't think it takes away from the movie. It's just one of those things where I was like, he's good as like smoldering and traumatized. I would have liked to have seen more from him. More range. Clearly he's capable. And I'll tell you, this might be Marlon Wayans' best work. He's so good in this. And my God, did you see the abs on him?
Yeah, I mean, he was definitely. I mean, you got to think this was back in '94.
Yeah.
So I mean, this was the height of the Wayne's empire.
Mm-hmm.
Damon, Marlon, Keenan Ivory. I think Scary Movie out yet, or it's soon. No, it hadn't been out. Let Me Call It was still going on,
Mm-hmm.
if I'm not mistaken. Because I don't think Scary Movie came out till later on. Because I think Scream came out in '96. Scary Movie would have came out a little bit later than that, around probably '99. So yeah, this is right in the midst of the Keenan Ivory Wayans. Everybody in my family deserves an acting job, and he got this. Without him being under that direction of his brothers, he got to stretch a little bit and show that he can act.
Yeah. I think he gets written off as not a great actor, but we talked about this last year when we did Respect. When he is actually asked to act and not be a minstrelly clown, he's really good. He's better than he's given credit for.
Oh yeah, I would say he's better than Damon.
I don't know if he's better than Damon.
Name one good Damon Wayans movie outside of Last Boy Scout.
Bamboozled.
See, I haven't seen Bamboozled. So.
All right. Anything else about Above the Rim?
No, we can move on to Coach Carter.